Welcome to the Japan Business Show. My name is Eric Ahorner, and today we have a special guest. His name is Junichi Tamamoto, and Junichi is actually an executive coach, but he has a very interesting background. He has been working nearly 2 decades in corporate Japan as a group manager in the business planning department of Konica Minolta. And I'm very happy to have him as a guest today to hear more about corporate Japan and his transition to becoming independent as an executive coach. Junichi, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yes, thank you very much, Eric. Yeah.
Thank you. Junichi, let us just start off. I'm so curious to hear what your background is. Tell us a little bit about your experience in Japan, how you went through the education system in Japan, and how you started at Konica Minolta, and you were also exposed to a lot of international assignments. So I know that you've been working in South America as well as in Europe, and we met in Germany over 10 years ago, and also you've been on assignments and business trips to the United States. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much, Eric. Yeah, my career background is started from Konica Minolta in 2001. And at that time, I was 22 years old, and I started from just direct sales in Japan. And after 2 years, I shifted to headquarters Konica Minolta, and the division was overseas sales, and I take the role of distribution to the South America, and I have tripped around all over the South America, and I sometime visited Florida, and from Florida to Sao Paulo or Argentina, and so on. And then I took the role, or I joined the German subsidiary, and I take the role of corporate planning in this subsidiary, and I was in the member of management, and at that time I met Eric. Then after the 6 years in Germany, I shifted to Belgium, and I was also general manager of corporate planning in this Belgian subsidiary. And after 3 years there, and then I came back to headquarters in Konica Minolta, and I took the role of oversee revenue and profit control. 3 years, around 3 years. Then 70 years left. Then I became independent, and studied executive coach 2 years. Now I am now 43 years old. Then I'm now executive coach. Yeah.
Very interesting history of your career. Let us talk a bit more about your time at Konica Minolta, because I know that you've already mentioned that you've done several international experiences. How was it for you to go abroad for a Japanese company? When was the first time that you were actually sent abroad to work for Konica Minolta? How old were you, and how was the preparation, and what was your experience?
First time, was 25 years old, but I didn't have any specific education of English, but I company decided to me to send to Germany or South America, etc. But this is at that time. This was not so unusual. Japanese Japanese company sometimes pass the people to the abroad without any education.
So you were not receiving any training before going abroad?
No specific education for me.
Okay,
But
that's
yeah, but Japanese company have a culture that yeah they rotate the role within the company. Uh, so, for example, USA, Europe, yeah, many company, many country, many corporation, many companies in other country take the people, uh, uh, take or hire the people, the with some specific skill. I need this skill, so I hire this person. I need this skill, this position. Then I take these people. But in Japan, after the people who graduated Japanese university, then they take many people one time. Then they decide shift these people to this division. These people, this division. For example, the students who educated law, but they decide this guy to the financial or such cases happen in
is that
Japan.
again, that's also interesting in terms that usually one thinks that Japan is very oriented toward specialists. So if
Mm-hmm.
you know a craft really well, it's a lot about being perfect or being a perfectionist in your craft.
Mm-hmm.
But the example that you're giving us is that corporate companies usually try to create generalists among their employees to have that kind of job rotation and to make different experiences. And even though they might not be the ones with the skill for a specific task, they still give them that assignment to make that experience, to have a more generalist approach, and in the
Mm-hmm.
end to have someone or maybe several selections in the management successor employees that they can look at and say, okay, these people know everything about our company. They have been in South America, North America, and Europe. They
Mm-hmm.
know the Asian operations. So is that the purpose? Is it because they want a
Yeah.
generalist, or why do they do that kind of job rotation approach?
Mm. I think yes, correct. Eric, you made a good explanation. Yeah, Japanese company have more idea to create a generalist, and then yeah, but this idea is based on the culture that people join to the company, not join or dedicated to this specific role. This is not. They have idea to join organization, join company, then they have a loyalty to the company organization. Then they shift A to B.
And understand. So it's not so much about joining a specific task or project, or, for example, if you studied accounting or marketing, it's not about getting into that department. It's just about getting into the organization and then listening to what the organization tells you to do. And even if you studied something completely different, you're obedient and say, yes, okay, if you say so, and you follow. I understand. That's understandable. So when you were sent for the first time to abroad for the company, what were your challenges? Do you remember some examples of challenges that you faced?
Yes. I had a big challenge to join the German organization. When this was when I joined to the German company. I made some conflict with president of German, and then not every German company, but my company, my German company, very much there was a strong. Then I had the conflict. I came from headquarters Japan, and I made an attitude like a big boss. Then I made a big conflict with him. Then other German managers also made a attitude against with me. So I couldn't join the exactly in this organization, management organization. I took one year. Then within this 1 year, I made every tries to join in the organization. So I contribute to this organization. I communicate with every German staffs. I made communication every time, everywhere, and I made a private communication as well. Then finally, after 1 year, I was accepted by him. Yes, Tama, I have met with you. This is first time for him to see the open-minded Japanese guy, and every staff love you, like you. So please cooperate with me. This was his comment in the Christmas party. Then I was accepted. It was a hard time, so hard time.
I can imagine if you were not accepted by the local management, then it must have been very difficult for you to work on certain projects. And I assume since you went there as an expatriate from Japan, headquarters had certain expectations on your performance on location, and I guess you had a task to fulfill when you went there, and you communicated with headquarters to fulfill that task. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Thank you for your explanation. Yeah.
And so it's very good. So you overcame that challenge initially, and at a Christmas party, which is very traditional for Germany. That even if you have like some kind of rivalry or some discussion or dispute over a couple of drinks at the Christmas party, you make friends again. So what opportunities have you seen in let's say in Konica Minolta in Germany compared to how you were working in Japan? Have you seen some opportunities that you would say it was easier in this aspect to work in Germany than it is in Japan? Or Are there other aspects of German business culture that you've appreciated compared to Japan?
Ah, I think yeah, I compare with German company of Konica.
Yes, of course.
I don't know every German company, so
Of
just
course.
my case. I was so comfortable in a German company because the people interested to me, they had interest to me on me, and they wanted to know my career and how was weekend, how you spend the time, on a weekend, and what soccer football team do you like, and etc. Such a they made a good communication with me, not only business but also some part of private, and also among German staffs, they also like that. They had a good communication, and they respect each other, and they respect their business, their work, and they help each other. Had a good feeling, and they don't so much sticking on the detail too much, like Japan, and they are also comfortable the life in a German company, and compared to the German company headquarter, a bit for me I feel some lack of communication. Yeah, they make a good collaboration, but some stress in the relationship with each other. Mm. They don't so much step in the private, and uh, some conflicts, but they don't communicate directly, like a honne. I cannot say in the
Real talk. They don't express
real talk.
their real thoughts or talk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
real. Yeah, they don't express real feeling, real thoughts. Mm.
Yes. Hmm.
So this part I learned from German company. The real thoughts, real feeling. They express as much as possible. So I learned this part from German company, and I I feel like this part in Japanese company.
Very, yes, very true, and I can attest from personal experience. And it is not only Konica Minolta in the German companies that I've been working with, or I've been working in as
Mm,
well. The business culture is usually that you find a result or solution by
mm,
having a constructive
mm,
discussion.
mm,
So there is some, in Japanese terms, it might seem like a fight from time to time, that people are actually fighting with words because people get very upset, but it's with the purpose of finding a solution. So to an outsider, it sometimes seems like, oh wow, what is happening here? It might feel uncomfortable to be in a meeting room like that, but that how a lot of Germans find a consensus in the end
mm.
to find the best solution for everyone. It's just a different kind of business culture. I cannot say
Yeah,
it's right or it's wrong, but it's different.
yeah, Erich. I'd like to put one comment from executive coach. Yeah, I found out why this happened.
Mm.
Yeah, and when we talk about something, we have a layer of the topic. Yeah.
Hmm.
For example, we have a pyramid, and for example, on the top, figures, figures, incidents, yeah, exact
Hmm.
incidents, And the next layer, actions. What you do, actions, yeah, and the end on the bottom, there is the personality, the characters. Yeah, we talk some layer always. See and talk about each layer. And in German, I I saw in German, people talk about much more top and the in the middle. Yeah, what you do, what we do, and or the figures and the facts. Yeah, they don't see so much bottom. What you are, yeah, who you are, your characters. I don't not looking, but not so much looking, and not so much talking about this layer each other. But Japan, in Japan, uh, the people see the bottom as well. Who you are, yeah, who you are, and the guy talk about this. So maybe he is like how should I say? Yeah, this type of people. They see that, and then because in Japan, the people educate same educate, yeah, primary school, junior high school, and yeah, and the culture is not so different. They think basic culture is the same.
Yes.
So if he do something, then he's talking about something. Maybe he is such kind of person. Japanese people thinking, yeah,
It
judging people who what kind of character. So
yes.
conflict happen.
Very good. Thank you so much for adding this. You're absolutely right. From my personal experience, again, it is a lot about categorizing someone.
Yes,
So be
yeah.
it even in Japan, people love to categorize by blood type. Are you A gata, B gata?
Yeah.
And then they categorize your character. And also, I just recently wrote a blog post about overtime in Japan. And in Japan, if you leave early, you will have a certain reputation that you are not working hard. Even if you do everything, you fulfill all the goals, you do your work maybe better than others that stay longer, if you leave at, let's say, 5 and all the others stay until 7 or 8,
Yeah.
maybe you're the most efficient. You do more
Yeah.
work than two people that stay until 7 or 8, but it doesn't matter because you have the reputation, you have been categorized as leaving early and
Yeah.
putting more priority to private or whatever or family than to the company. So I absolutely agree. It's a lot about categorization. And now also it makes total sense what you explained about the Germans not looking that much about categorizing personality or character, but more looking at what is the root cause, what can we do, where have been mistakes, and then they usually have a discussion or they have a fight or argue on based on those two the upper parts of the pyramid that you were just explaining.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. So moving on, I'm also curious to understand since you've already mentioned that well some of your knowledge as an executive coach. Tell us what has brought you from 20 years in corporate Japan, and I assume you were already up in the management career ladder and you could have continued, but what was your initial reason that you thought, okay, I want to do something that I am passionate about, that I like, and I want to go independent?
Yeah, thank you for your question. Yeah, my career was good for me. I feel good because I became finally manager of Konica Minolta headquarters, and I Konica Minolta had a 1 trillion revenue
Mm.
in total, and I took the 30% of that of the role. My role
Wow.
was control over this 30% of 1
Wow.
trillion. So from headquarters. Uh, but
What is that in
I
yen? That's 300 billion yen.
yen. This
Three.
is yen. Yeah,
Yeah, of
1
course.
trillion yen. Yeah.
So 1 trillion
So
yen, and you had 30%. So you had
so
revenue in
300.
300 billion,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Wow. Yes.
300 billion
Yeah.
yen. Yeah.
Hmm.
But my my goal, I thought my goal is not there. My goal of a career is not there because uh, I I thought I made a good experience in each country, and also before I joined the Konica Minolta, when I was a student, I was a American football player, and I was a two-time champion in the student. So I really strictly control myself and achieved the goal, champion. So I have a process to win something strictly, but it was so strictly Japanese. It's a typical Japanese way of achieving a goal. It's very strict. And on the other hand, I made a good experience in Germany and Belgium, in Europe, and international, including America. They, I thought they have a value to enjoy the life. So I had the both experience, strict side, and enjoy the life. And when uh, I thought I have to experience. I have to explain to the Japanese people uh, to something to achieve the goal. Uh, you don't need to so much uh, strict, but enjoy the life in every day. Then you have to achieve something. This is my strong message at that time. Then I thought within the Konica Minolta, I cannot do that. I have to explain this to the site, homepage, and the book and articles in the some papers, and I have to go to a public and explain this in front of them. Uh, I I thought that then I decided to independent, and now I making a coaches with executive, and also I am writing some articles, and sometime explain the in front of the people in the public. So
V-
yeah, this was the
Very,
reason.
yes, very impressive and also very unusual
Yeah.
path for somebody that has been in corporate Japan for so long. Did you, when you actually announced that you were going to do that, I assume first you talked with your family and your friends, and then
Mm.
later on you also had to announce it at work. Did you initially get some pushback or some criticism when you announced your idea first with your family and friends and then at work?
Yes, yes, of course. My wife pushed back for 1.5 years long. Yeah, but my decision was so strong. My commitment was so strong. So she gave up.
That's good. You
Yeah,
were persistent, and it was your you were convinced that
yeah.
this was the right path for you. That's very interesting. So tell us a little bit about your work as an executive coach right now. You were saying that, of course, you're educating the people around you and executives that want to become more efficient, more successful in Japan, as well as executives that go abroad and work for Japanese companies outside of Japan, as you did. Tell us a bit more about your work and
Mm.
what you do.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm executive coach, and especially around 30 years old or to 40 years old. These are my clients. Uh, they have a problem or concerns about what I should do next. They don't know, or they gradually gain the revenue and profits and gain some employees, but they have a next direction themselves, and also they don't know how they manage the people or employees. And then I make a coach with them. Why are you doing this business? What is your mission? And what is the vision? What is your identity? What is your values? Once again, I make these basic how can I say basic of personal. Then after that, they create some plans in the business and target in the business. So I make together with them the basic of a mission vision. This is my task, and also I make a communication with them how you manage employee within the company, and not only management, but also they should engage the employees. So how they make an attitude towards the employees. This is also the task uh, of me. Mm.
So you're giving them a complete guideline on how they can be more efficient leaders. You teach them about leadership and
Yes,
a guideline on which path or which step they should take next to be successful and be also more conscious about personal
yeah,
decision or not decisions, personal demands or what kind of lifestyle they want to live, and then you help them to make decisions based on their personality, their character, and to make the right decisions in their career path.
yes,
Very
yeah,
very
good,
interesting.
good.
And so, what would you say is your unique or a unique skill that you have that helped you to be successful?
Yeah, thank you very much. And this is good point. Yeah, as I told, my experience, my career is overseas sales, overseas the work in overseas. So I'm not only talking about the normal coach technique or and so on. But also, I have the I have the feeling that enjoy your life and also achieving a goal. This is my message. So first, my uh, point is what uh, from which state are you making a management? What state? Yeah, good state and bad state we have. Yeah, enjoy or enjoy life and funds and good emotions. Please, please make a management from a good state. This is my message from my experience overseas. This is a different point from others.
Great, great. I think it's really important to first decide on the own mindset, and then based on the mindset to move forward and to decide on what you one wants to achieve in life, but not forgetting that life is not only about achieving goals, it's not only about the work, but it's also about enjoying, appreciating what you have achieved, and maybe sometimes even celebrating. I think also a lot of people, I include myself, sometimes we achieve things but we forget to celebrate our achievements. I have another questions in terms of self-development for you. What kind of, let's say, habits, beliefs, or behaviors have you adapted in the last 5 years that most positively have impacted your life?
Your question, which habits? For my habit.
Yes, your habits, let's say a habit or a belief or a behavior, like, I don't know, I give you an example. I started to meditate 5 years ago. So every morning, at least 10 minutes, I do 10 minutes of meditation, and it had a very positive impact on my life. What habits or beliefs or behaviors have you adapted?
Okay. Yeah. For 5 years. Yeah, I believed it's a Napoleon Hill.
Napoleon Hill,
You are
yes.
thinking, we making real when you thought about. This was my first big thought, but belief, and also as a habit. Yeah, as you told, I also making a meditation in the morning and night, and I have so-called golden habits for me, and 6 o'clock I'm waking up, and I make some memo. Yeah, who you are. Yeah? What is your mission? What is your vision? And please pick up 10 thanks.
So you write down what you're grateful for.
Yes, yes. I have my forms, and always writing down. Writing down. And what is your purpose of working? Yeah. And what is your the goals? And what is your target of within these 6 months, etc. Always writing down, and I making my self-image to this executive coach, my ideal executive coach. Yeah, and
Wonderful.
Yeah, start to go outside and walking, and the gym, and come back to home. And so this kind of the habit making me good discipline. Yeah,
That's great, really wonderful. We've been talking about, and you've explained that you coach executives on working on their careers, but also working outside of Japan, for example. um, also based on your experience in international work environments. Now, I want to reverse it a bit. What kind of advice would you give, let's say, a foreign executive that wants to work with a Japanese company?
Mhm. Good question. Uh, but I think, yeah, if you worry about some communication, if I don't think you don't care about so much that because Japanese people people sometimes not kind to the Japanese people, but I think Japanese people normally kind and they listen your voice, the executive voice, and I have respect to don't trying to communicate with them. Uh, the old they don't speak English, but I think let's try. I think just
Mhm.
try to communicate with them with no bias. Hmm.
That's
This
very
is
good. And
my
mhm.
hi.
Yes. So let me sum it up because you were breaking up a little bit on my end. So I think um, it's not one should not be scared of communication with Japanese people
Hmm.
because although
No.
sometimes they seem to be very rigid and very strict with other Japanese or with their staff, but usually they are very respectful with
Yeah.
foreign business clients or business
Yeah.
partners, and they really try to listen and to be very
Hmm.
um, yeah
Yes.
friendly and
Yes.
uh, that's true. I
Yeah.
fully agree.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for
Mhm.
your explanation. Yeah.
So, last but not least, I would like to ask you to maybe share where can people learn more about you, about what you do, your website, and how can people connect with you, maybe on LinkedIn, if they're interested to learn more about what you do.
Hmm. Yes. Please search Life Shift Japan corporate. This is my company name. Yeah, Life Shift Japan, and
Life Shift
also
Japan.
Life Shift Japan, and also yeah, I have a homepage and yeah. Uh, Please access Junichi Tamamoto. Yeah, this is only one name in the Japan. No one have this name, so Junichi Tamamoto. Please search it.
Thank you so much, Junichi. I very much appreciate your time.
Yeah.
And again, this was the Japan Business Show. See you all next time.